Hi guys, this is Faz Ullah, property cash flow expert. I'm here in one of Daniel's new projects. Hi Daniel,
Hi guys, how you doing?
fantastic.
I'm just chilling, man.
And I am just blown away by the most latest project that I have witnessed that Daniel has put together. And he has done this no money down. And Daniel, tell us about the project.
Well, it's a very interesting project. It's quite every single person I've talked about this project to say, "Wow, Danny, that was quite ambitious." But the beauty is, we're actually sitting down on the floor in the actual project now. We've got tenant moving in a couple of days' time. We've got tenant moving in tomorrow and next tomorrow. So it's been awesome. So this is a house I used to own and I used to live in it. I lived in this project. I actually lived in this house for 13 years, and obviously got started with the rent property strategy, and that gave me a lot of booster. It gave me a lot of booster to do what I did. So by using creative finance techniques, I was able to move out of this house and then get a different property where I moved to live in. And I decided to convert this house into a six-bedroom ensuite property, currently located in Bromley, in the heart of London. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, Daniel. Fantastic. Now, Daniel, what's the value of this property before you did any works to it?
Well, the value of the property, the valuation we had before we took on the bridge on it was initially 460. But when we eventually done a bridging valuation on it, we got valuation for 400 and just about £420,000.
Daniel, now after the works have been completed, what is it, the end value? What is it worth now?
Well, the property, just to play safe, the last property that's been sold in the area that was a five-bedroom was sold at four. It was sold at it was sold at 697. But a six-bedroom around the area goes for from the region of 750, around about £800,000.
Now, Daniel, how much cash have you created?
Well, just working for this project is taking me less than 6 months, so I've created about £200,000 cash.
Fantastic. Now, I am completely blown away because you did this no money down. How is that
Absolutely.
possible?
So I did it with no money down because I got a builder's finance. So I had got to work with a very experienced builder who I met through networking. I didn't actually meet the builder directly. I met another property investor in a property networking meetup who then introduced me to this builder he's been working with over the last couple of years. And the most interesting thing was this guy's been working with this property investor, but however, these property investors, they've never ever one day owed this builder a dime. So I managed to strike a deal with the builder that I would pay him X amount of money because I didn't have the whole money to do the project. The project valuation was £150,000 alone, the cost of work. However, I offered the builder £3,000, allowing me about 2 months to around about 3 months, worst case scenario, to refinance. And once I refinance the property back, I would then pay him his funds. So I
Was that
managed to use that.
5%?
Yes, 5% of the half of the price. So the cost of the work was £150,000, sorry, and I funded £80,000 up front, and he funded the rest. So 5% of about £70,000 gives us about £3,000.
Wow, so Daniel, hang on a minute. You've actually created six ensuite rooms in this three-story house, yeah, where you've got the architecture, the design, and the fees, and the builder's costs was £150,000. If you add the fees on, that takes it to about £175,000.
Yes, correct.
And you did this without putting any money in yourself because you negotiated a deal with the builder who would do the works for nothing for the first 2 months. You would then refinance the property at the higher purchase, pull the money out and pay the builder back. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And the rest of the money as well, again, I had a business extension loan, obviously, which rent to rent has allowed me to do. So I had a business extension loan combined with, the little change I had left, I'll say change, to add on top of that to fund the £80,000 upfront cost.
Okay, so now the valuation we're assuming is £700,000. You've got the surveyor visiting next week, and you're going to do an 80% loan to value. So how much money are you going to be able to pull out now?
Well, if you do the maths, so if you do the maths yourself, guys, you'll see that if I have a valuation of £700,000 and I do 80% loan to value, that will give me £560,000. So if I was to pay all the cost, I'm literally left with just over £200,000.
Incredible. Wow. Isn't this just exciting, guys? You know? And I met Daniel around, I think about roughly around 2 years or so ago.
Yeah.
And we worked together on another project, which is also creating cash flow. Now, coming back to this project, now in terms of the cash flow that you're going to be making on a monthly basis, that works out to be based on 560,000 with an interest rate of around 3.5%, possibly around 1750 per month mortgage payment.
Yep, absolutely.
And tell me about the cash flow. How much are you looking to make on a monthly basis?
So on the best case scenario, the average cash flow, just not being greedy, because if I was to be, my rooms would be going for around about £775-800 in the area, but I'm not just being too greedy. So the rooms has been valued at seven. So I've got some rooms going for £700. I've got some room going for £750, and the biggest room, which we're currently sitting on the floor now, which is the loft room. If you spin the camera around and see how big that room is, this room is going to be going for about £800. So eventually, I'm looking at about cash flow of 2,250 best case scenario, and worst case scenario would be £2,000 cash flow monthly.
Wow. I'm absolutely blown away with this. This is absolutely incredible.
Yep.
Now, you have got some other projects lined up. Tell me about that.
So I'm currently negotiating two properties at the minute. One being a stock repossession order, and the other one is a rent to buy. And also, I currently have an investor who is bringing in about £100,000 cash into a 50% share of an SPV. So, and we're currently looking at a property around the Dartford, Bluewater area in London, in London or Kent, around the M25. So yeah, I've got a few exciting projects coming through. So fingers crossed. It's for me. It's a time to be creative. It's a time to be bold, absolutely bold. The times that we live in now with the coronavirus, it's a time to really go out there and I think a generational shift is about to happen. The next set of successful business entrepreneurs and people who's gonna, the last recession created a lot of millionaires. I think this is one to happen for the progressive and a bold property investor. So absolutely, it's a great time to get creative.
Yeah, you talk about the last recession, that's when I started. You talk about creating multi-millionaires. 2007 is when I started, when everybody was saying stay away, I got in and started building a huge property portfolio. Now, in terms of what's happening this year, how much of a huge opportunity are we in now?
Well, I think it's we're in a very sophisticated time. But then again, you want to agree with me in the history. I mean, I'm 40 years old, and in the history, I don't think the interest, as much as I know about the lending rate in England over the last 15 years I've been here as a citizen, I don't think there has been the lowest ever. 0.1%, 0.0%, isn't it?
That's fantastic. It's
crazy.
crazy.
Money has never been this cheap before. So obviously, investors who are smart will be looking for people like myself and people like yourself as who are quite creative to loan their money out to, because that's the only way to get a huge and bigger return on investment.
Absolutely, and it's as we know, the debt makes money. You know,
Absolutely.
and so where now, Daniel? What if anybody wants to get hold of you and reach out to you? And how would they do that?
So you can find me on Facebook. My name is Daniel Moses on Facebook, and if you go on Instagram, Daniel Moses DM at the end of it, and you'll find me there. And also on LinkedIn, Daniel Moses. I'm literally everywhere. If you Google me, I'm literally on Google. Because remember, they said Google say you are who Google say you are. That's what people say, isn't it? So literally, I'm reachable online, and I currently also have my own property network, which is called the Rent to Rent Property Network, where we bring a lot of expert panels on the group. And I think last time in January, you was one of the panel, wasn't you, Faz?
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, fantastic event.
Great, great. Yeah, so I'm literally everywhere. Reach out to myself. If you like to know how you can bring £200,000 into your business within a short time period. I've just done it. And I'm looking forward to doing more of this kind of creative deals.
Fantastic. This year is going to be the biggest buying frenzy, and 2020, in 100 years' time, you'll be talking about this year. Yeah, we are
Absolutely.
about to experience the biggest crash in history. If you're not buying now, then you're never going to be buying. Now is the time, guys. Now is the time.
Absolutely.
So this is Faz Ullah, property cash flow expert, signing out from Faz and Daniel. Adios, and we'll talk soon.
Adios.